Hello again, everyone. Scoons Comics here with another exciting, oh so thrilling comic book haul. Yes, hello. How is everyone? I assume you're well. Today was the eclipse, craziness, sun went away, came back. Pretty cool. Science. This is the smallest comic book haul I think I've ever done. It is 3 books. 3. Let's see, how do I want to jump into this? So I'm a big wrestling nerd as well. Not enough that I'm a big comic book nerd. For those longtime viewers of the channel, big comic book nerd, big wrestling nerd, no surprise to anyone. So I've wanted to start a wrestling comic book collection for a while. And by that, I don't mean the WWF, WWE has their own comic book series. I don't mean that. I mean comic books that feature wrestling on the cover up until like 2000 or so, okay? There's tons of Superman comics out there, lots of oddball books, and a handful of comics that actually feature actual professional wrestlers from back in the day. So I've been dipping my toe into this. I had one that I've been really hunting for a long time, and I never see it anywhere. And one came available on eBay, and I snatched it up, and I said, well, I don't have any other really books to show except for a couple of other wrestling books that I've got. So I'm just going to show these 3, the start of a little collection I've got going on here. Again, I love this hobby for 1,000 reasons, but one of them is there's always something new to collect. There's always stuff out there. It's great. So the first book I got here, and I have no idea who the publisher is of this. I don't know exactly when this came out. It's not too old. This is Jerry the King Lawler Comics presents The Patriot, Pro Wrestler. All right, so this Jerry Lawler, okay, let's see. How do I want to do this? Jerry Lawler, very famous professional wrestler, had decades of success in Memphis, Tennessee specifically. He also is a fine artist. This is his artwork here. And he actually broke into the industry by doing drawings of a bunch of wrestlers for the television show. And then eventually he became a star there, and he continued doing a monthly strip called The Patriots that ran from like 71 to 73 in Wrestling Monthly Magazine, which was a local magazine for that promotion in Memphis. They were all black and white, and you know what? I'm going to crack this sucker open. It's only 3 comics. So they're all black and whites, and then somebody, I don't know if this is Jerry Lawler himself or someone working on his behalf, colorized it and put it all together. Let me give a good example here. Okay, so this reprint shows like letter columns from the monthly magazine, colorized artwork. That's pretty cool. It's got little factoids. Gosh. It's got these little advertisements for things that Jerry Lawler advertised in Memphis. I love it. It's such a cool little time capsule. Let's see here. What else do we got? Here's an article about the wrestler behind the Patriot, Jerry Lawler. Just a cool piece that I just randomly found on eBay when I was looking up wrestling comics. So here's Wrestling Monthly. Here's what these strips originally appeared in. So just a cool little treat, man. Very cool, very cool. The Patriot. So yeah, so somebody put these together as pro wrestling's first comic book superhero. There was also a wrestler named The Patriot in the 90s, and some thought that he got his inspiration, or the creative team that gave him the gimmick thought they got that from this comic strip. I'm not sure, but really cool, you know. It also came with, I don't know if it's an authentic autograph or a print, but a Jerry the King Lawler autographed trading card. And then there's Jerry Lawler's Wrestling Legends reunion is happening May 11th this year, 10th and 11th in Evansville, Indiana. So, you know, if you want to go to that, go to that. That's pretty cool. Okay, now to something a little more mainstream. Superman had a ton of wrestling covers, but I think this is the only one that actually featured a legitimate wrestler. And this is Superman 155 from 1962, featuring Antonio Rocca, Argentina Rocca, who was a big, big star in the 50s in New York. He had several sellouts of Madison Square Garden. So this came out in 62, so he'd have been very popular right here. And DC Comics, of course, was officed in New York. So I'm sure he was a popular favorite there. I don't really know the story of how he came to be specifically in this issue, who chose him to be in this. A little research I need to do, but that's pretty cool, you know. See, if you're a kid into comics at the time, you got a couple of your favorites here, Superman and Antonio Rocca. That's pretty nifty. I dig that. I need this in much better condition, but that's pretty neat. And then the creme de la creme, man. I have looked for this book for a couple of years now, and I ain't seen it anywhere. And then just one randomly popped up on, this is how stupid I am. One finally popped up on eBay, reasonably priced. I tried to get them to go lower, because I always do. Why would I do that? I've lost so many auctions going back and forth over $7, but I don't know, I do that. I also have a large bear staring at me right now, creeping me out with those eyes. Look at him. Ooh. Ugh. Anyway, from Atlas Comics, Sports Action number 9 from 1951, featuring Ed the Strangler Lewis right there, taking on Gene Corsica, I do believe. Yeah, it says here Corsica up in the top. Ed the Strangler Lewis was a big, big star in the 1920s. Before television, hell, before radio, just newspapers and word of mouth. He was legit. So back in the day, at the turn of the century, wrestling was, for the most part, a legitimate sport. And Ed the Strangler Lewis, who, this is not his famous stranglehold. His big finishing move and what he was known for was basically a side headlock. Picture putting your little brother in like a noogie and then flipping him over and taking him to the ground. That was his big move, and he would pin you with that, okay? Stranglehold, Ed the Strangler Lewis. He was responsible, he and a few others were really responsible for transitioning over to the predetermined finishes, realizing you could sell a lot more tickets if you cooperated with your opponent, and you could both make each other look good, you could tell a story, and make some money. He sold out, gosh, he sold out all over the place, but he sold out Wrigley Field in the 30s, I want to say like 1934, and with just newspaper ads. You know, that's how famous he was. He was able to command that big of an audience to an outdoor stadium without any advertisement except your local newspaper. It's crazy. But so Sports Action is a comic I've been picking up here and there. I'd like to put this run together. If anyone has this issue, by the way, any of you crazy collectors out there, want to get rid of it, want to trade, want to do something, let me know. I would like a nicer copy of this. But Sports Action always does these great profiles. There's a couple of the wrestling ones where the wrestlers are in these little boxes, but this is the only one that has it as the big featured cover piece. This is a Joe Manley cover, I believe. Yeah. And just awesome. Just awesome. Ed the Strangler Lewis retired shortly. Well, he retired shortly before this came out. I think in the late 40s he retired. But then he became a manager. He was very popular for many years. So this is a nice little profile on him. I think it's only like 6 or 8 pages, but a really cool book from the golden age or atomic age of comics. As far as I know, this is the oldest comic that actually features legit wrestlers. There's an issue of an Atlas comic, Timely comic, Marvel comic, whatever you want to call it, called The Kellys. I think it's like issue 13 or something, that has a cover with a couple guys wrestling, but they're not actual. They're nobody. They're just caricatures. But this is Ed Strangler Lewis, man. That's so cool. And that is the start of my, well, not the start, but these are 3 really nice pieces in my wrestling-themed comic book collection. I have a list of books that I'm trying to get, random covers that feature Wonder Woman wrestling or Superman, or I know there's a Thing cover out there. There's a Ninja Turtles book that I think I have. Basically, I want things that are in a wrestling ring, people wrestling, not boxing, wrestling. So anybody got any good wrestling covers out there, ones I need to hunt down, please let me know in the comments because I need them. I got to find them. And that's what I got this time, guys. Hopefully I will have many more books next time. I've gotten some new subscribers lately. Thank you so much. I'm thrilled that you're here. I hope I'm at least mildly entertaining. I got weird bears on the wall. That's cool. I'm in my son's room, for those of you tuning in for the first time. I used to have a nice comic book room, but storage issues came up, and now I'm shooting everything for the time being in my son's room. I kick him out. I take over, I set up my camera, and then I got his Five Nights at Freddy's stuff and Pokemon stuff on the wall. What are you going to do? It's all good. All part of the fun. But everyone be well, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.